Hi, this is Rachel Smith, Business Grower, and welcome to day 4 of my Make More Money 5-day challenge. Where has time gone? It's gone so fast, hasn't it? I hope you have enjoyed the challenge as much as I'm enjoying the challenge. So this call is about one of the absolute cornerstones of every successful business. And it's something that as women, we are really brilliant at this. So it's hopefully, if I share some tips and some strategies, I'm sure this is an area that you can really strengthen because it'll just play on your natural talents and skills anyhow. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about our brilliant ability to form those connections with other people and the ability to connect, converse, and have deep and brilliant relationships with people. We're doing it all the time. We do it with our families, we do it with our friends, and we most certainly do it with our clients as well. And the brilliance of this is that we can talk to our clients both online and offline as well, and start to create some relationships. So why is this important? It is absolutely important. Think back to your own buying experience. Are you going to buy from an organisation or a person that you have not heard about previously? Or so think to how you currently buy. Are you buying from organisations and people who you spent a little bit of time getting to know, whether it's getting to know the brand or getting to know the person? And that's exactly how your clients work. So when you hear and read people, marketers, really focusing on this very thing, the reason that they're doing this is because it's just something that we all do. Is that we buy from people that we know, like, and trust. And as I said, as women, we generally find this really easy to do. Introverts, extroverts, whoever you are, it is something that we have some great skills at. So today is starting to think about, what is your relationship like with your audience? So if you're hanging out on social media, how do you connect with that audience? How do you demonstrate your skills and talents without selling? And then how do you connect with people who perhaps on your email list? And then looking outside of that, looking at the actual face-to-face connections, what face-to-face connections are you doing with people who are your ideal clients? And this is, perhaps you have been advised to have a freebie, you've been gathering emails, and you might occasionally send a newsletter, but you don't really know the reasons why you're doing that. So when you're busy, things get forgotten about, and the newsletter is maybe one of those things that you do. Or perhaps you just get really overwhelmed with all the different social media platforms and trying to keep up with everything, and you're busy enough as it is. And when you find that you go onto social media, you just get totally swamped with social media, you get drawn into it, and then you find that hours pass by and you haven't actually achieved those things you wanted to do. So you tend to keep away from social media because it's a bit of an energy and time drain. But this is really started to think about how you show up in these places, and is it working? And if it's working, brilliant. Really identify what is working well for you there, because that gives you like the kind of golden nugget that says that this is working well, your clients are responding to you, and from this platform you are being able to develop amazing relationships with people that lead to sales. Because ultimately, whether you like it or not, any of these activities are marketing activities, and it is about putting yourself in front of your ideal clients, demonstrating who you are, what you've got, and with the outcome that you want these people to buy from you. You're not creating a Facebook page with loads of followers, or an Instagram account with loads of followers, or an email account with hundreds of people on it, or thousands of people on it, just for vanity's sake. these are people who've put their hands up to say that they're interested in what you do. So when people have perhaps advised you to be regularly communicating with your audience, this is the reason why you do it. It's starting to strengthen that relationship. They've come into your world. Now it's about ensuring that you are strengthening that relationship, that you allow them to come a little bit closer into you, that they get to know who you are, they get to know more about what it is that you've got for them, so they can make a decision if you're for them or if you're not. And when those people who decide that you aren't for them leave, sometimes it can be quite disheartening to see your likes go down on your social media, or your people unsubscribe from your email list. But those guys will never go to buy from you in the first place. So just wish them well and know that you're opening up the avenues for more people to come to you. So let's talk about strengthening that relationship and how you can actually do this. And I really want you to think about how you are showing up in the places where you are marketing at the moment. Do you generally just pop up occasionally, or are you persistently and consistently showing up and demonstrating to people what you've got? Because that's how people begin to understand what it is that you do. And I'll tell you a little side story about this. So in 2015, I was looking for a business coach to support me in my growth of my business. I've been following a number of people, but I didn't realise that two people had a very similar name, and they were both based in America, and they looked very similar. So in the summer, I completed a free challenge. I really liked what the person was doing. I knew that they had something that I wanted for my business. So I opted in and I worked with them on a program. That was amazing and brilliant. And now I'm working with that person one-to-one, and they're really, really awesome. I'm very, extremely grateful that they're in my life and they're helping and supporting me. But interestingly, whilst I was making that commitment, that solid commitment to that person, the other person who had actually just disappeared off my radar for a month or two reappeared and had an amazing opportunity available. But I felt such a disconnect with this person because they hadn't been around as consistently as the other person. So they actually missed out on the opportunity of me becoming their client because they weren't being consistent with your clients. So I want you to think about whether or not that is happening for you in your business. And if you can identify that actually there's some places where you know that your clients are hanging out and you're not consistently showing up, start to think about ways that you can do that. It doesn't have to be like another job to do, but what you've identified is a place where your clients are hanging out, where you can have a presence, and it's a type of marketing approach that feels comfortable to you for you to do, because that's absolutely essential as well. There's little point in setting yourself up to do daily periscopes that if that totally fills you with fear and you totally hate doing it, find marketing activities that work for you and work for your business, work to your skills. You know, let's not set you up for failure. So I want you to do like a little mini audit and start to look at where you're showing up and whether or not you are being consistent. And where you aren't being consistent, start to change that. Start to put a plan in place and identify how you will consistently show up for these people. So let me give you some examples of that, how that might be. It might be that you are part of a number of Facebook groups or LinkedIn forums, and that you just kind of hover in there, that you sometimes occasionally post in there. Maybe you put a promotion in, something like that. One of the best and easiest strategies that you can do in there is go in there and get to know people, reintroduce yourself if you haven't been active in that group. Let people know a little bit more about who you are as a person. Share your story with them, and then start to share your brilliant content where you're demonstrating your skills and talents. And then when you are ready to promote, so we're talking about 2 or 3 weeks of actually physically going into Facebook groups and building relationships is actually after 2 or 3 weeks, then you're in a brilliant position to go and promote something, because people will be warmed up. It can be that quick in Facebook groups. Or perhaps you've been going to a networking event and you've been going some months, not going to other months. Make a real commitment that you're going to consistently go to the right networking group for you and your business, and try it consistently for 2 or 3 months. And when you're there, really energetically show up that you energetically want to be in the room, but you're really deeply interested with the people who are in that room, and start to make some real conversations. So I know that in the old days we used to just get out our business cards and all the rest of it, but I really encourage you to have some proper conversations that you need and invite them to connect with you properly, and not in a sales way necessarily. This is about you starting to develop a relationship with somebody. You wouldn't go from meeting somebody at the bus stop to inviting them around to your house for a cup of tea. It takes some time, doesn't it, to get to know, like, and trust somebody. And it's exactly the same in the business. So those are the tasks for day 4, is to think about how you can strengthen and deepen your relationships with your ideal clients. Complete that mini audit of where you are showing up. Are you showing up there consistently? If you are, what's working well, do more of that. If you discover that you're not showing up consistently, I've shared some tools that you can do that. And the kind of upper step for you to do this is to really step away from that big medium of social media groups and so on. And I'm really going to challenge you today to make contact, personal contact, with 5 people. So this could be a combination of clients who you've worked with previously, who've already demonstrated that they know, like, and trust you. And it could also be people that you've met for the first time, you've been meaning to connect with them. Drop them a personal email. Just ask them how they're doing. Tell them how great it was to meet them, how interested you are in their business, and ask them some questions that they have an opportunity to come back and respond to you. So really good luck with that. As always, please come and share your reflections and lessons over in the Facebook group, and ask me your questions as well. Okay, I look forward to seeing how you get on with day 4 very, very soon. Bye for now.